Greetings, greetings, greetings. We're so happy to be here today with you. As you know, some of you don't know, I am Leslie Montgomery, part of the LKM Kingdom Living, Leslie's Lessons Learned. And today I have a guest with me, and I'm so excited about her being here. And I'm messing up. I'm trying to. Give me a minute. I am trying to. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay. I was touching stuff and everything was moving around. I was trying to make sure that Instagram was on. Every Tuesday and Thursday for the last month or so, I've been coming on Teresa and just trying to be an encouragement. I call it a moment of inspiration where just to help people stay focused, not on what's taking place in our society, in our homes, in our lives right now that would
Mhm,
distract us from the real purpose, but to
mhm,
keep us focused on the real purpose. And when I was thinking about it, I said, part of it is taking those mental breaks, I call them, where you talk about relieving the stress and things like that. So I want to thank you, first of all, for agreeing to be here as we talk about these things this morning. And I'm not long, but what I try
okay.
to do, like I said, is leave an encouraging word for someone. And as we go through today, and I'm going to allow you the opportunity to lead us into some techniques that'll help us. You know, every day something different is happening with our government. Different is happening in this world that shakes us. It shakes us. Whether we're a believer or not, it shakes us differently. But it still, gives you a jolt for a moment, and then you focus and get back and focus and say, this is a trick of the enemy, to get me off focus and off gear. To remember that as long as we trust and depend on the Father, as long as we trust and depend on Yahweh, some call God, that it would cause us to stay focused. I was reading today in, I think it was John 14, and I was saying that we use John 14 most times when we read it, it's doing funerals.
Mm,
John 14 is one of the top scriptures that's used at funeral, but that is so much deeper. And one of the things it talks about in there is us being in, some people call Jesus Adonai, and him being in us and us in the word, and how when we trust in him and take him at his word, there's no good thing he'll withhold from us.
mhm.
But society kind of makes us forget those things, that he says that he is our provider, that he says that he'll make ways out of no ways, and even in the midst of that, just being able to say that um, we trust him, that the society will fake us. Society would make us think that he's not here. He's not one. And we was reading this morning, and one of the things we were reading was that even in the midst of the way things are, that he is still a provider, that he is still,
Mhm.
and he says that eventually the enemy's foot will slip.
That's
I
a
want to
promise.
I want to for everyone to be encouraged and understand that the promises are yea. Man, London stop. And that you might as well come say hi. You did all that.
Hello.
That's London. That's my middle
Hi, London.
granddaughter. So just wanted to encourage everybody this morning. And sometimes it takes taking those deep breaths. It takes taking our mind off of what goes on. And one of the things about the breath exercises, that's a gift. That's a gift. When we do that, it releases so much stress and so much pain. And one thing about it is that, and we call him God, but his name is Elohim or Yahweh, and that Yah is the breath
Mm,
of him. And every
mhm,
time we say that name, we're actually taking in his breath. And that's a
mhm,
gift to us. And I
mhm,
just wanted you to kind of help us today with some exercises that we can do that could kind of c- cause us to relax and not be so stressed and anxious. Right now, the fear is high, being people being anxious is high. Everything is on the on time high, but
mhm.
the Father, and they're trying so hard to keep us from Him or remembering His word. So, talk to us, Teresa. And, so, wait,
Oh,
let me say
well,
this. This is something that Teresa does on a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly. She teaches people how to relax, to go into that place of serenity. And before you even start, talk a little bit about that. Let everybody know where they could find you, and things like that.
okay. So first I'll say I hope I'm on my phone, which I'm not
You're
generally on.
fine.
I hope nothing happens, but if it does, just invite it into the experience because that's how life happens, right? We're doing something and something will happen and catch us off guard. Um, and then we just have to invite it into the experience, accept that it's there and deal with it. So,
That's good.
um, you were, thank you for having me, first of all. I am a licensed clinical social worker. I do therapy. Um, I have my online therapy practice, encouragement counseling, but I also facilitate meditations every Tuesday evening, and I'll provide a link at probably after uh, we get off of here. Um, I don't know what that was, but so every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. via Zoom, I lead mindfulness meditations. It's called the Mindful Living Community. It's open. Anyone can come, and so we just take time out, like you, to breathe. We take time out to breathe, settle down, and
Is it
you
doing?
know,
You're still
yes,
there?
I'm still here. Did I
Oh, okay.
freeze?
No, you're good.
Oh, okay.
I thought
Uh,
I did or something because you stopped talking.
so we listen, I the format, I'll say, or how I generally do, is there's a bit of inspiration, maybe a scripture, a quote, a word of encouragement, um, some inspirational music, and then we'll go into the meditation, and at times there's a little debrief at the end, and most times, if you're still awake by the end, we just log off and take that serenity with us. You mentioned that you wanted me to come on because people are stressing, and it's a part of life. Um, and I had prepared this meditation for Tuesday evening, but God took me in another direction. And
Okay.
I said, this is perfect for what you're asking me to do.
Thank you.
So I will lead us in a meditation. It's
So
called,
he's so intentional. He loves
yes, he
us.
it's called the rain meditation, and it's an
Hmm.
acronym for recognize, allow, investigate, and nurture. And so when we have um, these stressful feelings and emotions and reactions or responses, we don't want to bypass them, you know. God is with us, but he's also with us in our upset. He's with us when we get anxious. He's with us when we get fearful. And we want to acknowledge those feelings and be able to be with them and allow them to be with us for a minute. We don't want to be overwhelmed by them, but we do want to acknowledge them.
Yes.
And then um, it creates space for us to um, hear from God and allow Him to guide us in what we need, what action we might need to take. So that's where I want it to go.
So what's the it's recognize, acknowledge.
It's recognize, allow the feelings. Don't try to push them away or bury them. We don't want to bypass it.
Right.
Uh, I mean, sometimes we're moving along. We can take a deep breath. As simple as that. Taking a deep breath is uh, always a tool we can use. Right. Sometimes we just have to keep going because of where we are. But if we're home and we're having a moment, we can take a minute with those feelings. So recognize them, that is there, allow it to be there, investigate what it's about, and then nurture ourselves with whatever it is that God reveals. And I always say God,
Yeah.
because he's part of me, part of what I'm doing. Anytime I'm meditating, I feel like I'm present with God. Some people may not say that, but even with this meditation, but I say it, right?
Okay.
It's
Hmm.
nothing I created. It's a tool that I've learned and that I use. So
Okay. So let's let's get it.
let's
Let's
get
do it.
into it. So you're home, wherever you are, just get comfortable, and you can close your eyes. You can lower your gaze or look down and just take a moment to notice your breath. Pay attention to your breath and notice how your body is breathing. The expansion of your stomach when you inhale, and the release when you exhale. And think about something that's bringing you a little upset or anxiety. Maybe it's a headline that you can't avoid when you turn on your computer or look at your phone. Maybe it's a personal thing. Whatever it is, just recognize your thoughts about it, your feelings, any physical sensations. Just notice it, recognize. I saw a clip of a young African American male being pulled over and punched in the face. Um, it was upsetting. I acknowledge that. But whatever it is, it's frustrating. Maybe name it. And then you want to allow your thoughts and feelings, whatever you're having, it's okay to have them. You don't have to judge yourself for being upset. However you feel, maybe you can say, this is how I feel right now in this moment. And God is with me in this moment. And now we move into a little investigation. Noticing what is coming up, what's going through your mind, the emotions you're feeling, and where they're coming from. Just go a little deeper. How is this being experienced in your body? Hmm. Maybe sensing what part of you is most vulnerable right now. Hmm. And reflect on what you need in this moment. And being kind toward yourself in this experience, the feelings you're having, the thoughts, the sensations in your body. Maybe give yourself an encouraging message. Maybe God is whispering something to you. Maybe you're okay. You say to yourself, I'm okay. I'll be okay. Maybe God is saying, I'm with you. And just take a moment to feel or experience what it's like when someone you love is loving on you. Imagine their love coming towards you. And notice the feeling of calm, relaxation, and peace. Maybe put your hand over your heart, offering yourself a comforting touch. And even wrapping arms around yourself and offering yourself a warm embrace. Taking a deep inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. And you can blink your eyes open. So that was a rain meditation.
Okay. Powerful.
Mm.
Thank you. I, I mean, I'm relaxed now. It's almost like I went and had a massage.
Mm.
You know, when you come out, when someone is good at doing massages and you come out, you're just so relaxed. That was really good. Thank you for that.
Mm.
One question is
Amen. Sure.
the breathing exercises. I don't even know
Mm-hmm.
if I want to talk about it now. I'm just so relaxed. But
Okay.
you know how sometimes are the different types, like you breathe through your nose
Mm-hmm.
and you fill up your stomach.
Mm-hmm.
Is there an is there a, I don't even know how to put it.
So
Is there another technique? Not
there's
saying that you do it that way, but
there is so many
okay.
techniques. And I don't know if you're familiar with yoga. Like there are different yogas. Some are just relaxing and stretching, and then some are very intense
Really?
in heat. Um, um, and it takes a lot of strength. Um, I am definitely on the relaxation end of things.
Right.
And so the same with breath work. I have gone participated in live breath work sessions, and it's very intense. And some people breathe through their mouth, um, fast and intense. But um, one of the techniques that I like to use is even breaths. So you can breathe in for 3 and exhale for 3, or you can breathe in for 5, exhale for 5. When I'm in a relaxed state, and I just want to breathe, I do that.
So
And
that's
so,
still through the nose.
so I breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth, like you're blowing through a straw, or blowing bubbles, or blowing out a candle. And that's how we, teach the children. But that's how I learned.
Okay.
You probably heard smell the flowers, blow out the candles.
Mm,
And so I just inhale for 4 is a comfortable number for most people. But some people have been doing breath work and they can inhale for 8 and exhale for 8. So I
okay.
like to inhale for 4, exhale, inhale 2, 3, 4, exhale 2, 3, 4. So you can do that at any time.
So
Another
how many times, I'm sorry, how many times do you do that? Do you do it just one time? Do you do it?
You can do it um as many times. You know, you can do this for a minute. If you set a timer for a minute, you would just see how long a minute is.
Okay.
And if you're starting out with anything, breath work, meditation, just being still and focusing on your breath, You can start with 2 minutes, 5 minutes, and extend it for as long as you want or not.
Okay.
A good 10 or 15 minutes is good for me to
Okay.
incorporate into a daily routine.
Okay.
Um, another, um, there's so many. There's
Right.
box breath that you may have heard. You breathe in for 4. No? Okay. It's you can do breathe in and then you pause or hold your breath and then you breathe out
Oh,
and
I didn't
pause.
know the name of it.
Yes, it's called box breath. And
Okay.
if you're, you know, like thinking of inhale, hold, exhale, hold, kind of like that.
Oh, I do a devotion, and that's one of the things the guy has you to do is those breathing exercises. And
Hmm.
let me just say hi to Sister Doreen and Sister Michelle. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, so to me, it should be a part of our daily routine.
Hmm.
It helps with the stress, it helps with the anxiety, and it causes your lungs to open up,
Absolutely.
you know.
Just just like I was trying to do. You had Chuck Morris on here, and always, whenever I want to get back into my workout routine, I was in a boot camp with him,
So
and
was I.
he would always say 20, 20, 20, 3 times, and I'm not up to 20, but it would be 20 push-ups, 20 squats, 20 crunches, 20 sit-ups. And so as I was doing that, I noticed I was breathing hard.
He was breathing harder.
I was breathing hard. And I said, exercise, not only are you moving your body, but it forces you naturally start taking deep breaths. I'm like, this is the power
You have
of
to, yeah.
exercise. You know,
Hmm.
you you taking some deep breaths. Um, but yeah, a lot of these things we do naturally, unaware.
So let me say this last thing. I promise I wouldn't
Sure.
keep you long.
Mm-hmm.
um we have to be mindful of the type of breaths we take, because we could be taking deep breaths because we're irritated, stressed out, just. And I used to do that all the time. And my husband was like, "Could you stop doing that?" And I was like, "Doing what?" You know. And he was like, all that's just too much. That's just too much. That's what he used to say. But sometimes you're thinking about things that you may not be able to figure out. You're thinking about things that don't seem to be going right. You're thinking about different things in life, and you don't realize that you're taking those type of breaths, but that's not the type of breaths you're referring to.
Well, actually, it's your body
Telling you.
responding, you know, because there is frustration. So you are taking that.
Just
And it is a release.
okay.
So um when you doing it unaware, there is a positive impact when you take that deep breath and release it. But when you're doing it with intention, then you're not still caught up in the annoyance and frustration, right?
Right. That's
It's not taking over you. You're working with it
right. That's good. I
with
like that.
awareness. Yeah.
Yeah. It's an awareness. So, which
Mm-hmm.
means with it being an awareness, we will handle it differently. We'll
Absolutely.
we'll go from the negative part of it to the positive side where we want release. When we're dealing with it from the anxious side, we're still carrying that thing, whatever it is. But when we begin to make it a habit that we're doing these breathing exercises and releasing,
Mhm.
then we're not carrying, we're releasing whatever it is that's stressing us out.
Yeah, when we practice, we're helping to change our baseline. So when we're upset, we can always engage in these activities. But if I'm not upset, I'm just like I'm brushing my teeth, yeah, I'm combing my hair, I'm also going to do some breath work. I'm also going to take some deep breaths. When we do that, cuz we all have a baseline, and you know, we call it a window of tolerance. Your window of tolerance might be like this, but as you practice, uh, it's a whole these different techniques, then you increase your window of tolerance and your baseline, so you're not um, knocked off your square, so to speak, so easily. You're not so overcome by emotion so easily. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you, Teresa, for coming on.
Well, thank
I
you.
hope I hope you would come on at least once a month and just talk to us and help us through different processes. Everybody, some people, you might be in a good space right now, but there's a time that comes that you got to go through something, and you need to know how to go through it healthy. And that's
Hmm.
why I wanted you to come on today to help us as we're experiencing certain things to be healthy in what we're experiencing, to relieve the pressure off the
Hmm.
mind of all the chaos and things that come up with
Yeah,
us.
we gotta practice. We gotta practice.
Practice. So listen, ladies, this is a replay. Come back and listen. We did an exercise not a few minutes ago. What was it? Was it 5 minutes? I don't even know if it was 5 minutes, but
Yeah.
that's something you can begin to train yourself to do. There's other exercises, but I hope that Teresa would come on and just take us through different things. Maybe once a month or something, whatever fits into her schedule. But thank you so much, Teresa. Hey,
Sure.
Renee, and thank you everyone that's on now, that comes on later. We just want you to be healthy, and we want you at this time to be focused on being healthy, not so much of the doom and gloom. So until we meet again, have an amazing day, ladies, and bye.
Take those deep breaths.
Take those deep breaths, the box, whatever.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
me.
Mhm.